Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you once again for joining us for another midweek meditation. Today is going to be short and sweet. We thought we would come to you today and just think about it. We're in the second week, going into the second week of post-election, and just want to encourage you and to celebrate that we're here another day. I think it's so important for us to be grateful, be thankful for the time that we have. And even more so, the ability that we have to build relationships, to continue to grow, continue to make space for others to grow, to make a space for people to feel safe, seen, heard. And one of the ways that we do that is by, yes, you got it. You heard it in the song in the beginning and you see it on your screen. We build bridges. And Liz and I thought today would be one wonderful opportunity for us to continue to move forward. And sometimes we come to places, we arrive at destinations, as it seems, where there is a dead end, or there is a cliff, or there is a mountain. There's something that precludes us from moving forward. So I want to encourage you today in our meditation, even as you're sitting in your office or wherever you are. You may be in the library. Some of you may be over in Beijing, just waking up when you watch this. Others in California, still pretty early. But wherever you are today, I just want you to think for a moment, how are you making life, first of all, better for you? Because you must first care for yourself to be any good to anybody else, to bring your best self forward. So as we see here, we have a bridge. And the good thing about this image is you see there's one person that's able to go across that bridge. But nevertheless, the bridge is there so that you can cross. And sometimes it's a slow process, but like a bridge over troubled waters. Just want to encourage you today. There may be a neighbor, there may be a family member, friend, someone you could think of as we're sitting here in our meditative moment where you need to build a bridge. There are so many people out here that are hurting. So many people feel despair. Anxiety has taken over. People are really having a difficult time right now, and I get it. But we got to be careful not to put too much thought into tomorrow, because today has enough that we have to consider and deal with, okay? So our first slide talks about, and we're going to, throughout this meditation, our theme today is building bridges. Because we build too many walls and not enough bridges. And Isaac Newton said that. And education is all a matter of building bridges, by Ralph Ellison. How do we educate on what to look to, what to look forward to in this coming year? But we still have this space of time that we can educate each other in a way that we can still be conquerors of our own fate and destiny, right? And I know the Bible teaches us that we are more than conquerors already, and that all things work together for good to them that love God and are called according to his purpose, right? To God's purpose. So we have to believe that, and it's not to say that we're going to be sitting idly by and a false sense of hope and faith, because definitely faith without works is dead, and we have to continue to work. And that brings us back to, let's build a bridge. Let's go to the next one, Liz. Bridges are perhaps the most invisible form of public architecture, said by Bruce Jackson. There are many different kinds of bridges in the world, and as you see this old bridge, may not seem like anyone can cross there, but I am sure, because there's a picture there, that individuals still use that bridge today. Some bridges are wood and some are stone, and others are fabricated of steel. Some are small, some are massive, but they all function basically the same way. They span a chasm. They make it possible for someone to pass from point A on one side to point B on the other side. Hebrews says, and let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much more as ye see the day approaching. Of course, that's not the context of what we're talking about today, but it is in the sense that we build bridges for one another to provoke unto love and to good works. Forsaking the assembling of ourselves, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves. These bridges come into play as we make it a way for us to come together, to be able to cross together, to be able to communicate and walk hand in hand as brothers and sisters, right? So let's be kindly affectionate to one another with the kind of love that exceeds any of the obstacles or any of the disagreements we might have. And that means across the board, race, religion, socially, politically, we have to figure out ways to make it happen. And some people have lost hope, thinking that we don't have that ability to do that because of who's entering office. But you know what? Greater is in us than that's in this world. Right? We have to believe, we have to trust, we have to have faith to know that there's something much larger than what's going to be in the White House, right? And I won't say anything else about that. Let's go to the next one. As we leave the old bridge, we go to London Bridges. Y'all remember that song we used to sing when we were little? Some of you might remember London Bridges falling down, but of course this one is not falling. Excuse my, no pun intended there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bridge. If you just look at that and think about what went into the creation of that bridge. Some bridges cause us to really plan. And usually what that means is we have to survey the land, we have to survey the water, the depth of it. The same thing in relationships. We have to survey the depth of experience. Sometimes it's the hurt. Sometimes it's the offense. Sometimes it can be the loss of not knowing which way to go. And we erect the bridge so that it can give direction to forward. Wow, I am very grateful for that moment, because there's a song that says, you make all things new, so I'm moving forward. Let's continue to move. Let's go to the next one. We're almost there. We need to consider our motivations, even as we build, as we construct. I like this in Chattanooga, these 3 bridges, and Liz pointed out that the middle bridge is a pedestrian bridge. So there's 3 different bridges there. that make a way of transportation of varying kind, whether it be by automobile or by bicycle or by skates or by walking. There's a way to get across. Let's cross to the other side. And I think that is so beautiful too, everything that is around it, because sometimes it takes a bridge to take us from our current state, our comfortable state, into something that is far more pleasing, as you can see here. Although from here you go from wonderful landscape across the busyness of industrialized city there with the buildings. Just think, if you're coming to this side where you see the landscape, you can be leaving the busyness to steal away to a place where you can have some peace. And then guess what? You can go back if you need to, right? But it's up to you to choose. I know we're kind of beating this today, but I am just really trying to drive home the point. Even as we meditate to really think about it and to ponder where we are, where you are right now. Are you that bridge for somebody? Let's go to the next one. Like, even with this bridge, I mentioned earlier about the wooden bridge. If you've ever traveled across a bridge like this, it can be very difficult to maneuver. You have to hold on, make sure that you don't fall, because as you take a step, it causes the entire bridge to move. So there are those bridges where you have to take your time. You have to instruct those who are crossing to take their time to make sure that they have sure footing. For how firm a firm foundation, making sure you're planted with each and every step, and you hold on. Which also brings us to another point. Sometimes you are that which is stable for someone to hold on to. Not at the expense of losing yourself, but being stable. Steadfast and unmovable, always abounding, right? But nevertheless, you're still there to allow that person to cross over. There are so many that I want us to reach out to, whether it be in your church community, your religious community, whether it be in your classes, whether it be in your dorm rooms, at the office, or in your family. We have to make sure that we don't get so focused on what is going on in this world that we lose sight of what's going on with those around us. Let's go to the next one. And we're almost home. What I like about this image is that you can't see what's on the other side. So you literally have to trust as you walk over this bridge, this beautiful bridge. And as you cross over, it looks like some beautiful trees and some nature waiting to greet you on the other side. But there will be times where you just have to cross, not knowing, going to a place that you will be shown as you step out on faith. Trust and believe that it's working out in your favor. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, we were trying to think about if we were going to include this one or not. I hope this is allowing you just to kind of reflect a little bit. This is the building of the bridge, and we believe it's the Bay Bridge. And if you've been to California, where I'm from there, so I've seen this bridge, traveled it many times, and of course they've built a new one since. But just think about those who had to put their lives on the line to build this bridge for the millions and millions of people that continue to cross it daily. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And what was something that I would even like to bring up here is the bridge is not just about getting to the other side. Sometimes it's there to allow us to see the beauty of what exists. Because when you're on the bridge, you see things that you can't see at ground level. Of course, you see some things from the plane, but this allows you to see some things at a higher level and being able to appreciate the beauty of it, the beauty of life. Might your bridge be that? You create a way for people to experience the beauty of life. You call them higher. You make a way for them to rise up, to be counted, to be seen. I love that. Okay, let's go to the last one. Of course, here I'm a little biased to this bridge. This is the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. We crossed that bridge so many times, but one thing that is really interesting about this bridge, you can actually feel it moving when you walk across it or when you're riding your bike. But yet it is one of the most beautiful landmarks of the Bay Area, actually, even in the world, right? Continues to stand. And another thing to really consider here is that it has withstood the test of time, namely the many earthquakes that have happened in the Bay Area. It's still there. Maybe that's the reason it moves the way it does, so that way if it was rigid, when the earthquakes happened, it might not have survived. But guess what? Again, like we said in the beginning, there are many kinds of bridges. So we have to be present and understand in the moment what each situation dictates. I tell my kids situational awareness. Make yourself aware through education, through communication, through discernment, and just sitting still. But the main thing, you have to be in a place where you can build a structure that can be resilient, one that can withstand all the trials and tribulations of this life. And with that said, we're going to leave you and thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Liz, for working with me to get this done. I want you to really enjoy the process and not focus on what you deem might be a scary future, because I believe that we're going to have life and we're going to have it more abundantly. It's going to work for your good. So be good to yourself and be good to others. We love you so much. If you have any questions, concerns, you can write us. I'm at malams@emory.edu, or you can write to the Office of Spiritual and Religious Life, or if you need counseling, make sure you reach out and get help. We'd love to hear from you. You have a wonderful, wonderful day.